guys, so in this video, I want to talk about the MECQ, the rationale why it was done, how it will affect the economy, how it will affect the stock market, and how there should be a balance also with what's happening with the virus and the pandemic, and what should you do as an investor, how should you react, what's the best course of action for you in this time, in this new normal, in this item that's so different. So if you want to know more about MECQ and my take and the stock market and the economy, check this video out. Hey guys, so we are at the start of August, and as you all know, there was a very important disclosure that won't just affect the markets, won't just also affect the healthcare system, but will affect the economy as a whole. I'm talking about Metro Manila and some parts of the country reverting back to MECQ. So as you all know, just to bring you back, we went through this lockdown March, then it was in a very strict ECQ, then they started to open it up with MECQ, then somewhere around June they opened up the economy a bit to bring us into GCQ. And one of the biggest differences between GCQ and MECQ is it allows more leisure activities. It allows the economy to open up at least 50%, which is what we really need. The economic status of the country August 2020 is a much different aspect from where we were in March 2020. But as I continue, I'd like to honor first all of the doctors, all of the medical frontliners, everyone who has been helping out this country. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. Thank you for helping, healing, and taking care of a lot of our countrymen, especially in this very trying time. So I don't know how it feels. I don't know what's going on, and I don't know how it will be and how will this play out. But I hope that everything that goes well, and I support and I thank you for everything that you've been doing. That being said, also, I'd like to point out that we are in a very different time, because it's not just that it's a health crisis, it also has spiraled into what's looking like an economic crisis, or which is already an economic crisis. Because the dilemma is, if we make the lockdowns even stronger, more stringent, it will highly affect the economy. Or if you don't lock it down naman, the cases will spiral and you will see more people get infected, and we might not have enough medical practitioners. But here are the things that I think will be hit because of the MECQ. And please remember, the MECQ will only be for 15 days as of now. But the biggest hit will be public transport, because public transport will be suspended. I think one of the biggest problems of a lot of the businesses before was to how would they transport their employees from one point to another for them to be able to function. That's one. And number two, after the lockdown, a lot of the companies were just starting to reopen. And the ones that were starting to reopen, or are about to reopen, or are reopening, or starting to get traction, they will have to also close down again. So I think that's the pickle where we are in, that there has to be a sweet spot also on how they get to help the economy, but in the same way protect the medical frontliners, that it doesn't get overloaded, that the system doesn't get overloaded, that people also get protected, and somehow we curb everything. Since this is a stock market channel, what it does is, the stock market is a reflection of how investors feel the economy will be. And that's why, by the time I'm making this video, the PSEI dropped to 5,715. Massively dropped, with a value turnover of 6.5 billion pesos. And if you've been following the videos that I've been making, I've been noting weeks prior to this, or even days prior to this, that value turnover wasn't as strong, value turnover wasn't as big. People were waiting for something to happen, and this could be one of it. This could be one of the iterations that people were looking for. It's not on the optimistic side though, it's more on the pessimistic side. That's why you saw a larger amount of selling happen, 6.5 billion pesos. Foreigners were net sellers today at 1.6 billion pesos. And for those who've been following my videos, I noted that there are 5 stocks that could bring the index down because they have a large weight, they have a large market cap, and today they were pretty much sold down. SM down 3.37%, SM Prime down 4.83%, BDO down 3.41%, AC down 3.65%, and Ali down 6%. You have 40+% of the index massively down, and that's why also the index is down. Here's one thing that I'd like you to note. Has something really changed? If you note that even prior to this, from a technical analysis perspective, you'll see the chart here. We've still been on a downtrend. Nothing really has shifted. And if you've been following my videos on trend following, that the trend is your friend, that you can't really expect the market to push up until it starts to reverse. And the trend is showing us, the charts are telling us that in spite of what we saw, we really haven't reversed yet fully. So why am I saying this? From a trend perspective, from a price action standpoint, nothing has changed. We are still in a downtrend. We still have not reversed. So the main characteristic of a stock that's in a downtrend or a market that's in a downtrend, it will continue to go down until proven otherwise, until something shifts. So you should not be surprised if the market continued its pour down. You should not be surprised because the market dropped, because it was from a trend standpoint still in a downtrend. Now, from an economic perspective, I've been saying this in the previous videos that they're going to announce the GDP in the next few days and it's not going to be good. Even prior to this MECQ, even prior to this announcement, nothing really has changed in our economy. Things have been opening up, but we haven't still really fully recovered. So why did the market drop? Why did it drop today? If the trend really didn't change, if there really wasn't any change also in the economy, what's changing? Why is there a bearish undertone? This places a larger shroud of uncertainty. And if there's one thing that I've been saying over and over in all of the videos, investors don't like uncertainty. Because of this, when we were at the path already to reopen, we were at the path already to recover, another layer of 15 days of closures will greatly impact businesses. I've said this at the start of the video. We don't know it. The cash positions of companies are different now compared to where it was in March. The cash positions that they had in March were bigger. They had the flexibility to give out more leaves, give out more leeways to a lot of their employees. And there were a lot of donations that were given out at the start of the year. But if business is not running, sales are not coming in, those businesses that were giving out money also are the ones that would be greatly hit. I really do hope that the cases get curbed, that we find a way to somehow contain it. Because if we somehow contain it, then it wouldn't place a larger pressure on the hospitals. If it doesn't place a larger pressure on the hospitals, there wouldn't be any need or urge anymore to have stricter lockdown measures as well. But in the same way, we find a sweet spot also that businesses still get to thrive, that there will be pivots already right now, that businesses will find a way on how they can be profitable still, especially during MECQ, that they find a way on how to transport people from one point or another, especially where public transportation is not so good. From an economic perspective, this does not look as good. From a health perspective though, it helps our medical practitioners and our frontliners, and it extends also our hospitals to be not overloaded. You might be asking, what am I doing right now? What's my plan with all of this that's going on? The money that I have allocated in the market is still in the market. The money that I have allocated also for cash will also be in cash. I'm not changing my rules in the middle of the game. Now is not the time for you to become emotional. Now is not the time for you also to be scared. If you don't think your income is hit and you still have extra money going on, and then part of your plan was to say, I'm gonna buy 5,000 pesos a month for this stock, then do it. So if you're asking what I'm doing, I'm not changing my rules. Whatever I set forth at the start of the year, whatever my trading plan was, that's what I'm doing. And why am I sharing that to all of you? You always stick to your plan. If it's your plan, for example, to buy Ayala Corp stocks, and you decided that I will put 5,000 pesos per month to buy Ayala Corp stocks no matter what happens, then you stick to that. Do not change your rules just because there are things that you cannot control that are shifting also and changing. Whatever you've written down, whatever you've listed, whatever your style is, you follow that. Because I'm not deviating from my plan. I'm not going to deviate from my plan, because if there's one thing that I do know is this will pass. And once all of this is said and done, it's good to have a mix still on what's invested in the market and also what you have in cash. So I don't know if that made sense, but what I wanted to share was stick to your plan, stay the course. If your buy signals emerge, continue to deploy capital in them. If your signals are telling you to sell, right now, you get out, you sell, you take profits. If you think your income is hit, if you think your cash flow is hit, it would be time also to be liquid. Now is a time also that if you think you're not gonna do well financially, you try to preserve as much cash as you have. If you need to sell items, you sell items, you sell assets. You try to sell assets, you try to stay afloat, you try to build yourself up, you try to protect yourself so that in this time now, we don't know how long it will be. But as long as you have cash, as long as you stay liquid, it will give you opportunities later to either pick up some good assets, pick up some good stocks, or it will help you to stay afloat when all of this is said and done. And I'd like to make this message also to those that are watching. If you don't think your income is affected, one of the best things that you can do right now to help the economy is to spend. Keep on spending, support those small entrepreneurs, support those people who are not earning as much, not just by giving them money, but if they have a business, they're selling something, support their services, support their businesses, give them opportunities to earn, because when as they start earning also, they will also spend, and they will help make a ripple effect in the economy. So again, an appeal to those who have extra, an appeal to those who have more than enough, to those who are not as affected. Keep on spending, make this economy go higher, because the main difference now is, I've been saying this all the time, we are a consumption driven economy. For this to do very, very well, consumption must go up, consumption must be better. Allow me to update you over the next few weeks on how this will go. Allow me also to update you on where the index will be over the next few days. But I've said this at the start, we've still started our downward path. The index is still breaking down, foreigners are still selling, and then there's still also no evidence yet of how a reversal will happen. But if there's one thing I do know, this will pass. If there's one thing I do know, now is a time more than ever. If you're a person that needs to invest, try to build as much cash as you can. If you're a person that is a bit anxious at this time, now is the time also for you to build your skill. Now is the time for you to build that acumen. Better build your acumen in times of crisis. Better build your skill in times when it's hard, because in times where it's hard, that's where you get better. In times where it's hard, that's where you build that emotional stamina. That's where you build that IQ that will allow you later on to get better and improve on your trades. So I hope this is something that helped you. This is just me sharing bits and pieces of what I think the MECQ is, and how it affects the markets, and how it will affect everything in general. But I hope that this helped you. I hope this is something that gave you an update. It may not be the most inspiring news. It may not be the most encouraging news. It may not be something that would cause a lot of people to be inspired. But I think it's something that's relevant for today. And I think that people need to know what's happening and what should be the plan and the course of action of people. If this gave value to you, appreciate it if you press the like button, thumbs up button, subscribe, share, and be updated about what's happening in the market. So this is Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.